Hi, I'm Wild from ChemKnits, and this is my mom, Rebecca. I call her Mommy, and today we're going to tie-dye these shorts.
We are. We have some camp t-shirts that we want to tie-dye, some other things we've held on to tie-dye.
And she's not the camp counselor.
No, I'm not your camp counselor. But
I said you were not.
I know, and I'm agreeing. And so, yeah, we're going to have some fun and play with some Tulip Tie Dye kits today. Now, to get started, I already put the shirts just through a wash cycle on the washing machine and spin cycle, so that way they are nice and wet, but definitely not dripping. That way they can easily absorb the colors that we're going to use. Should we go show the colors?
Actually, I first want to tell them something.
Okay.
Anyways, other than that, we are not going to tie-dye yarn today since we're doing t-shirts.
Now, if we end up with dye left over, then we might dye some yarn.
Right. But listen, what Mommy, you say. I agreed with it.
I agreed with that.
I told her to say that.
That you did, kiddo. All right, let's go set up the counter, okay?
So,
all right, I actually decided we're gonna sort of fold up the shirts first. Now, Ryder, how do you want to have this dyed? Do you want it to be more like in colors to be in diagonal lines? Do you want the colors to be really random on the shirt? Or do you want a spiral?
actually, I would like them to be like everything like, and you know?
So you want like a spiral?
Spiral, but tons of different patterns.
You want lots of different patterns?
Yes.
So Ryder has a lot of ideas. So on your shirt, I will let you follow those ideas. On Lucas's shirt, I think I want to do, Ryder had a lot of ideas about what he may want to do with his shirts. So I decided to start with Lucas's shirt, and I did a diagonal accordion fold and then added on the
bubble bands.
And then I added, thank you, Ryder. And then I added on the rubber bands in various points. This should give some fun diagonal kind of pattern to Lucas's shirt. All right, Ryder, now I need you to kind of scrunch up your shirt in the way you want it done. Is there a spot where you want a spiral, that you want Mommy to spiral, and then you can scrunch or fold? Or do you want to do it however you want?
I'm going to do it how I know what to do.
Okay, what are you going to do? Okay?
Now, rubber band.
Okay. That was a very interesting pattern. That we're going to call this the Ryder scrunch.
I don't even know how it's going to turn out, so...
Yeah, you're right. We have no idea how this is going to turn out.
Actually, I just have one idea. Maybe this will be like circles everywhere.
Oh.
That's just my idea.
But the only thing that I know is that we really hope to get a lot of color, and this would be the only reason why we would have to over dye, is since there's white text on it, we're gonna wanna make sure we get a lot of color on there. There's that one. Now we have this one. How would you like this one tie-dyed?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, all right, I think, oh, well, I have an idea. Now that we have it like this, why don't we roll it?
Ooh, good idea.
Or should I roll it this way?
That way.
Okay. This is another Ryder style.
Right. Every game I play, I make up the rules so it'd be like easier for me, and I call those rules Ryder style.
Yes, you do like to play by your own rules.
It's the only way I'll play a card game or a board game, but only if the games I don't play that often since they're too hard for me.
All right, Ryder, I have, again, no idea how these are going to turn out.
Right.
But it'll be fun. Okay, so now on Mommy's shirt.
How would you think it to turn out, Mommy?
Well, for a while when we were talking, we talked about doing...
That? So that's what you're doing?
A few...
Hey, maybe one would be over there, you know?
Um,
Ooh, that pattern. Well, now it looks good.
Yeah, I have no idea how this will turn out, but I did a few different spirals, and now it's been a while since I've tie-dyed a shirt for me.
Anyways, this is so cool.
But yeah, the idea of doing multiple spirals on a shirt seemed interesting to me. Again, I have no idea how this might turn out. I may not love it in the end, but you know what? The nice thing sometimes about tie-dyeing is that if you aren't a fan of how it turns out in the end, in theory you could over dye it, but you could also...
Oh, you could just donate it.
Maybe not, but for me, since I dye so much yarn, we could have it and then dye it. I could wear it when I'm dyeing yarn, so that works for me. All right, so we've got 4 different shirts. We've got 2 Ryder style.
Yep,
we've got my multiple spirals, and then we have Lucas's more accordion one.
Like diagonal.
Yes, yes. I prepared some Ziploc bags already by sort of folding the tops right side out, so that way I can put each piece in it to let the color set for a couple days so they stay nice and wet. So I have that ready to go. For colors, we're using, I think, a yellow. I'm assuming this is a lime green. I'm hoping that this is a sky blue versus a turquoise because I have some other turquoise dye. We have a gray, a turquoise, and a green. And now I save all these bottles, so I should have bottles that I can use for those colors. Now, Ryder, what colors did you want?
Okay, the green, yellow, turquoise, and other green.
Okay, that's good to know. And
2 greens, turquoise, yellow. You could basically say it like that.
Okay, and I know Lucas wanted mostly blues on his. I deal with a lot of dye powders, and because I handle them a lot, I will be wearing my respirator mask as I go and add liquid to each of these bottles. I don't believe that's part of the official Tulip instructions, but again, since I deal with so many powders and I have the safety equipment, I'm gonna use it. I started dyeing Lucas's t-shirt, which was the long diagonal, but I arranged it into the pan in a little bit of a spiral. I was unsure if the 2 blues I had were actually different, so I wanted to test that first before dyeing a lot of blue, some gray, and some hints of the greens onto his shirt. Once I was satisfied with the color coverage, I placed it inside a Ziploc bag and sealed it and set it aside in a secondary container to help collect any leaks, and then let Ryder come back and be in charge of the show a bit again. Okay, and now with this excess color in here, I'm gonna take the bandana and just kind of wipe that up. We'll have like a fun random bandana. Maybe we'll add extra dye on there in the end. All right, Ryder, let's start with
the first one I made.
The dyeing of Ryder's first one got a little long, so I decided we would do a little voiceover. I'm very, very glad I put it inside the metal pan, because there were a couple times when Ryder would tilt the bottle over, then it would squirt, and that didn't end up on my floor, which made me a very happy mommy. I tried as much as I could to hand the bottles to him pointing mostly down, because I was a bit nervous about making a mess.
But making a mess is fun.
Making a mess is fun, but not when you stain the floor.
Right. Then you would be like, oh!
Yeah. Mommy might be a little mad if we got dye everywhere.
Yeah. And then you're going to have to find a new house.
Well, I don't know about that. But
or you could just paint the floor that same color, right?
Yeah, we'll see. But Ryder, what was your favorite part about dyeing this first shirt?
My favorite part about dyeing the shirt is because that even though it spilled, the shirt would always suck it up. Like,
yeah, that's very, very cool.
Don't you like it? See the yellow mixed with that blue you see? Yeah, and so it's making a new shade of green. Don't you see?
That's beautiful.
This one is so cool and beautiful. Don't you think?
I do. With this shirt, since there wasn't white text on it that we needed to pop, I could be a lot more relaxed and really let Ryder take charge of how much dye to have, because if we end up with a lot of white left over on this one when we open it up, that is not a problem.
White. Since this one, we did like sort of like mix, mix, mix.
We did mix, mix, mix. What was your favorite part about dyeing this one?
Well, I didn't really have a favorite part of dyeing this one, but making this one is the folding part.
Oh, you liked folding it?
Yeah, since it was like line, line, line.
Line, 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 then roll. Yeah, that was pretty fun. All right.
The other one, I also like the...
Yeah, you like scrunching it all together?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Ryder, thank you so much, and I'm going to go put this in a bag now and set it aside.
Should I take off my gloves?
I'll help you do that. For my shirt, I didn't really want any yellow in there, but I used all of the other colors we had, starting with a large stripe of what is likely a lighter blue. It looks like it's probably the same pigment as the turquoise, but I do think that there is overall less dye in there, so I anticipate that that color will be a little bit more pastel in the end. But since we didn't know, I did try to separate that from the turquoise with having the greens and the gray mixed in there. I didn't press the bottles into the shirt at all to try to inject the dye deeper because I didn't really mind if we end up with a fair amount of white. I really don't know what to expect from doing multiple spirals on one shirt, but I went ahead and bagged this and got ready to set it aside for a couple of days. We've dyed 4 shirts so far, 3 kids, 1 adult, with 6 bottles of dye, and we still have a fair amount of dye left. I gave Ryder the choice. And I asked, well actually I'll ask you now, would you rather dye another shirt or do you want to dye some yarn?
I want to do both, but if we can't, then do yarn. So I suggest we do yarn, and if we have that time to, then do another short.
That sounds like a plan, and so that's what we're going to do. So stay tuned for a Leave No Tie-Dye Behind video featuring...
me.
Alright.
Wait, I have to say one thing.
Okay, quickly, honey.
I'm going to be doing the epilogue, just so you know.
Oh, good. Okay, Ryder, here's the shirt. Well, that sounds pretty. So do you not want to put rubber bands on this one?
Yeah.
No rubber bands. Ryder?
None.
Okay, stop rubbing for a sec.
Let's see what it turns out to look like.
Well, that's kind of cool. All right, so do you want to squirt other colors on, or do you want to squirt other colors in the... Mommy, squirt colors in the pan, and we rub to wipe them up.
That's what I'm going to do. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to tell you which colors, and I'm going to hold it.
Okay, tell me what... I'll squirt colors in the pan, and then you can wipe them up. Deal?
Deal.
Okay. I'll put the shirt right here for now. Okay, what colors do we want?
First, yellow and lime green.
Yellow?
Lime green.
Okay, kid, here you go.
Now, first you need a blue.
Oh, you want me to put some blue?
Yeah. That's it for one.
Okay. Ooh, that's really
I want
fun.
to see the other side. Ooh. Put it on the other side.
Okay. All right. What colors now?
Now, gray and other green. Hey, they both are looking like that.
All right.
Right?
Put it down and wipe it all up.
Now put all of the colors on it.
You want to do all the colors at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, Ryder, this is looking so cool. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of you.
A little bit of you. A little bit of you.
Okay. And you know, Ryder, we still won't have used up all the tie-dye.
You still want to use up all.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, maybe
Put it on.
Okay, here you go. Your shirt. Okay. Rub it in. Ooh. Okay, let's see. Fun thing about this one.
No rubber bands equals tons of fun.
Yeah, this is beautiful. All right, is this one done?
Yes.
All right.
Or is it beautiful since it has no rubber bands?
Yeah, do you want to do the same thing for that shirt of Lucas's?
Okay, so.
Okay, we'll do that one off camera. We'll do one more off camera. But Ryder, this was a really creative idea. I mean, I suppose it's related to this bandana, but I really like this. Let me get a bag to put it in, okay? Ryder and I used up as much of the remaining dye as we could to dye the remaining shirt and even to soak up some more dye on that bandana that I'd been using to wipe things up all along. I'm amazed how much dye there was still left after dyeing 4 t-shirts, 200 grams of yarn, and then we finished the 2 other t-shirts. Then I set all of the shirts outside in the hot, hot weather for a couple of days, so that way the dye would have time to really bind to the shirts. And then I brought the shirts inside so we could open them up and wash them. It is 36 hours later, and we're gonna start rinsing out Ryder's first 2 shirts, which I think we did a good job with the amount of liquid we had in there, because there's not a lot of liquid that I can see like in these bags, which is good. What do you
And look at all, and you guys, look at that wall and how it's been turning green.
I know, that's also not a bad sign.
It's because there's yellow and green in the shorts.
Right, but the fact that there's not that much color coming off right now is also a good thing. Okay, I'm gonna keep rinsing these, and hopefully my hands don't turn all these fun colors. But are you ready?
Yes.
To see this shirt?
I think I know what it's going to look like. I don't want to tell you.
Okay, you don't want to tell me? That's fine. I always like to do a little bit of a pre-rinse before I put the shirts into my washing machine. But let's see, Ryder. Wow! That's amazing! You guys can't see the whole thing, but this looks so cool from Ryder's like random scrunch together.
I didn't even know it would look like that.
Ryder, that looks so cool. All right, let's look at this one.
Ooh, are you ready to see my masterpiece? Well, I think that would be called the popsicle.
This one should be called the popsicle?
No, the first one is the popsicle.
Oh, this is...
The second one is the line.
This is the line? Okay, let's see.
The line and the popsicle.
Let's see how this one looks.
Look at that.
Wow! That looks so cool. It looks so cool.
Looks even better than the popsicle.
Yeah, we will show you guys what all of these look like once they are dry, so you can see better. I know that we have limited space here. I'm not sure how all these green letters are gonna pop, but it's still pretty nice. So I started to say before that I like to do a pre-rinse before I start putting the shirts through my washing machine on hot water. And that's just because then less dye ends up in my washing machine. And as I walk things through my house, it makes less of a mess. But this so far goes to show that you can let your 6-year-old have whatever kind of random pattern on the shirt and you will still get something really incredible. I'm very proud of you, Ryder.
I didn't even know how it turned out. I just had guesses. I thought it would look the same. They were just both random ones. But it looked totally different from each other.
Yeah.
And so, Mom, have you done the other sorts?
No, we're about to do those ones next.
I want to watch all of them.
Yeah, you can watch all of them. But I think I'm gonna.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna speed this up, and then we'll come back soon and show the finished shirts. You might notice that I'm not wearing gloves as I washed all these shirts. And a really happy thing is that my fingers got minimally stained. Barely stained at all from touching all of these shirts. And I think that because it's been 90 degrees outside for multiple days, I mean the shirts felt warm when we brought them in, that any extra dye reacted with the water and therefore isn't gonna stain my hands. But I'm still washing in my stainless steel sink just as a precaution. Ryder, which shirt seems to be your favorite so far?
All of them. I can't really seem to figure out which one's my favorite.
Yeah?
Well, I did figure out which one's my favorite, actually. The lollipop.
You like the lollipop one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one too. But all right, now I'm gonna go wash these in my washing machine a couple of times. And well, soon you'll see us in the shirts. I am going to go and show all these finished shirts to Ryder very, very shortly. But I did just want to take some still photos of each of the pieces so that way you could see a little bit easier than when he's trying to hold them up what our finished items look like. I'm very impressed with how clear the yellow is, especially on the shirts that Ryder dyed for himself. And I also like the ones that are a little bit more muddy, where we really blended the colors all together. I'm really happy with how things turned out, and impressed because I forgot just how far a few bottles of the Tulip One Step tie-dye really went. The colors could all be more vibrant, but you know, I guess that just means that I need to do some tie-dye with my fiber reactive dyes and sort of make my own like one-step solutions. And one more note before I bring Ryder out to see all of his handiwork. When I washed these in the washing machine a couple times on just cold, with just like a short rinse, and then a couple times with detergent. And there was still a light color in the cycle when I went and washed the shirts. So with any kind of tie-dye, even if you've rinsed it like a fair number of times, I do recommend washing it on its own for a good handful of times, just to make sure that you don't see any staining of other garments. But I actually am pretty optimistic because my hands really didn't get stained from this. So I think that how hot it was outside really helped. But anyway, here's Ryder. So Ryder, what do you think of your t-shirt?
Very awesome. Very awesome.
What do you think of these shirts that you dyed?
Well, Lucas, can you tell how we made this one? You tie-dyed it? No, how folded it? No. We did diagonal.
Nope, that's not that shirt. So these are the shirts that we did at the end where we just rubbed the shirts into the dye. Ryder, tell us what you think.
Well, Lucas, it sort of looks like through one of them that we did the diagonal fold, but it's not that one.
Yep.
Since, look, the gray's like that.
Lucas, what do you think?
I think it's really nice, even though it's kind of big.
Well, but you're growing, and so the other...
Mine's kind of big.
Yes, but that's not a commentary on the dye job. Hey, Ryder, this is the shirt that you folded. What do you like about, can you tell any differences between the one you folded and the one you're wearing?
Well, this one has lots of, the one I'm wearing doesn't.
Yeah, because since you folded it, you created a resist, so there were places the dye couldn't go. Which one do you like better, do you think?
Actually, like for both, since they're both the exact same start.
Lucas, what do you think of this one?
I think I like it better than the other one because this one actually has words. It's not just some like color scheme. I like it because it has words. I mean, when it was white, the words was just a bit plain white shirt, and now that it's dyed, I can actually see the word.
Ryder, what do you think of this shirt?
Well, I like how it has so much blue, green, and yellow, and I also like how I can still see I like how this today is filled in, since it looks very creative.
Do you remember how you dyed that shirt?
I fold it and fold.
No, that one was a scrunched.
Oh yeah.
And can you guys slowly turn around so they can see the back? These are very, very pretty, guys.
You see, I'm still having the scrunch stands.
The bandana, I think that I liked a little bit earlier when there was a little bit more white, but, or cloth napkin or whatever, it still will get a lot of use around the house. And as for my shirt, I actually really like the placement from the random swirls. I was a little nervous that it would be placed a little bit awkwardly, but I think it's cute and it's different from other shirts that I have dyed for myself in the past. But anyway, this is our video tie-dyeing t-shirts. Lots of t-shirts using a few colors with a lot of different techniques. I really hope you enjoyed this mommy and mostly Ryder, but a little bit of Lucas vlog into our tie-dyeing projects. Please make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos.
Can I say?
Yeah?
These smells up the color. Don't ask. the baker device.
It would cost you lots of money.
It would cost you.
And you would have to buy a new one, and it'll make you extra sad for wasting your money.
I don't tie-dye t-shirts that often, but I do have some other t-shirt dyeing video, but mostly what we dye over here is yarn. So stay tuned because there's a lot more yarn content coming up.
Way, way more.
Thank you so much for watching!
Bye!
Bye! Okay, you gotta wait for me. Yeah, you can do all the talking. Go ahead.
This is ChemKnits, and this is like the 1 millionth video, right? Right?
Yes, but honey.
You may have watched other videos, but this is the 100th video, or maybe not.
No, it's not, but that's okay.
And this week I'm not at camp, so yeah.
And what did you have to do with your special mommy day?
This what we're doing.